behind the back.
Do I get the special thingy?
It's in the name, I'm sorry.
No,
Do you see it? Make sure you turn it on.
Oh, that would be helpful. Alrighty.
Sorry.
Okay. So, as you guys can see, I did my presentation on Fred Jones. Frederick Herman Jones is more than just a pretty face and a snappy dresser. Born on September 13, 1969, Fred came charging through at 11.5 pounds. Born to Mayor Jones and his wife in Poolsville, Nevada. However, shortly after Fred was born, his mom left him and his father in hopes of finding a better life for herself. Known by his various nicknames, Fred, Freddie, Fred Jr., etc., Fred was the head of Mystery Incorporated. Mystery Incorporated was a group of teenage sleuths, which included Velma Dingley, Norville Shaggy Rogers, Shaggy's dog Scooby-Doo, and always beautiful Daphne Blake. These finds soon became known as the gang, but back then the word gang didn't have the same connotation as it does today, so it just meant like a group of friends who hung out. Fred has always been slightly hyperactive, danger-prone, superstitious. Some deem Fred's childhood as normal. However, I think it was far from it. He spent his childhood subscribing to the National Exaggerator, a magazine that was home to stories about real mud monster encounters and mole people, etc. Those are his favorites. Like many children today, Fred was often the target of bullying. His biggest challenger was the neighborhood bully Red Herring. Red would not only terrorize Fred, but also the rest of the gang. Fred would always retaliate by accusing Red of all the strange happenings in Poolsville. Fred has always fallen under the stereotype of dumb jock, but he always made up for it by bringing his creativity to the show. In later years, Fred picked up hobbies such as weightlifting, martial arts, wrestling, traps, and of course, solving mysteries. One of the reasons I admire Fred Jones the most is because of his perseverance. No matter how bleak the outcome of a case looked, Fred never got rattled. He kept on until he had all the clues he needed to solve the case. Not only did he do it with the case, but also with his traps. Fred rigged some sort of trap to catch the villain in almost every episode. His traps didn't always plan out the way they were supposed to. In fact, they never did. Just like in episode 104 of where Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Where Fred builds a barrel and rope contraption to plunge onto the monster, but his plans go awry and the trap is a misfire. However, it doesn't stop Fred. He finds another way to stop the villain and bring him into his mischief. During numerous other episodes, Fred also shows his goodwill. Normally, when a mystery strikes, the gang is on vacation, like every episode. And nobody wants to ever stop, relaxing or anything. And Fred's always the one that says, guys, let's stay and help. He also speaks words of encouragement to the gang to keep going. For example, whenever Scooby and Shaggy are way too hungry to solve mysteries, Fred will always say something like, "Come on, guys, we'll get food on the way." Fred is also one of the bravest people I've ever seen before. I'm sure solving mysteries is a scary business, but it never stopped Fred. You can even see in various episodes where his voice cracks or he starts to shake, but it never stops him. He always ends up being the pack leader. With his head held high, Fred is the first one to take his team into battle. Obviously, Fred Jones and his life story is fictional. He's an animated character caught in a fictional storyline. However, he's the only person I can think of with all the distinctive qualities that make him a more than average leader. This makes me wonder if there are any quality leaders out there. Are there any people in the world that have the compassion, goodwill, and bravery who need to be a leader? I don't know. I do know one thing. No matter the circumstances, I will always look to Fred Jones for guidance. However ridiculous that sounds, it doesn't compare to the ridiculousness of the so-called leaders in the world today. And this is Frank Welker, the guy that voiced Fred Jones. And that's it.